switch or play catch up all day. This is News Radio WRVA.
7:04 this morning on News Radio WRVA. Hey, Dave, you know what today is?
What day?
It's National Kiss and Make Up Day.
No thanks.
What?
I thought maybe you were offering to kiss and make up. I go, no thanks.
Why wouldn't you want to?
Not with you.
If we had a big fight, you would just leave it out there?
I'm not kissing you for anything.
I'm not asking you to kiss my rear end. I'm just saying, would we ever?
I'm not kissing any part of your body at all.
If we got into a big fight and like you were throwing things at me like you were this morning, and then I've like stormed out of the room, who would be the first to call if we got into a big fight?
Not me, because I know I'd be right.
Because you're too stubborn.
That too.
You are too stubborn to have a kiss and make up day.
I'm not kissing you for anything.
You know what? I might make that our I haven't put out our Facebook question of the day. I might do that. Who's the first? Are you the first or are you the last to try to kiss and make up?
Now, see, in relationships, I'm usually the first one, but in like
work
with significant others,
right?
I'm usually the first one, but in other ones, probably I'm the last.
Oh, folks. I will tell you this: he's stubborn.
Oh,
we're going to talk about this in the in our Facebook live post game wrap. How stubborn Super Dave is, because you have super fans. They want Super Dave news.
I'll be the first one to admit I'm stubborn. Yeah, it's all my mom's fault because she's stubborn too.
Kiss and make up day. All right, I'm going to actually have to try to apologize to people because I'm going to say some things that are going to hurt your feelings right now. How many of you have kids that play sports? How many of the kids said, can I play? Will you please sign me up? Versus how many of you signed your kids up and told them they were going to play a sport? Bring all this up. And I wanted to talk about this for a little bit. With the Little League World Series is going on right now. I want to say College World Series. The Little League World Series is going on. I was sitting in the sports bar the other day watching it. And I'm like, I dislike youth sports so much. And let me explain why. So when the text messages come in telling me to go jump in the lake, you get it. 833-804-1140, 833-804-1140. I played Little League Baseball. My son played Little League Baseball. I was on the board of directors for my Little League. I volunteered for my Little League. I've coached youth sports before. I love youth sports. I just hate some of these organized leagues, and I hate the Little League World Series. Now, I'm not that grumpy old man. In my day, we didn't have a TV. It's not that. We all saw the movie The Bad News Bears, and that was shocking to Little League, but it's pretty indicative. If anybody ever played youth sports, you know there was always that one coach that went too far. And he treated it like he was Aaron Boone managing the Yankees, and he ruined it for everybody else. I was never that parent, but I was also that parent that would invest money into youth sports. And my kid, some of it I got from the clubhouse, from the ballpark. Some of it somebody would give to me. Some of it I bought. He had all the best gear money could buy. But you know what money can't buy? Is talent and ability. And he was okay. He got as far as playing Division III basketball or Division III baseball only because he's left-handed. Nothing comes out of his hand straight. Couldn't break a window if he hit it with a pane of glass. But everything moves, and he has no idea where the ball's going. He just knows that nobody can hit it because it's never straight and it's so slow. Just throws nothing but junk up there. Not on purpose. That's the way he throws because he's left-handed. So I will tell you this. I was a horrible, horrible Little League father. I could not coach him. I had no patience. I was a horrible father. Until one day, I came to work at the ballpark. And I said, I was in a bad mood. Joe Madden was the manager of the team. He goes, "Hey, what are you so upset about?" I said, I had a lousy day. I was with my son at practice. All I did is yell at him and the kids. He turned around, got in my face like he's screaming at an umpire with his finger pointing at me. And he goes, "Hey, listen, if you're out there yelling at the kids, you're out there for the wrong reason. If you're out there yelling at kids on a Little League baseball field, you're out there for you, not them. And that's something else." And he storms off. Whoa, wait a minute. I'm just trying to help coach my kid, and I was frustrated. opened my eyes. I sat down and I thought about it. I sat down. I remember Mike Matheny, who used to play for the St. Louis Cardinals, had this thing called the Matheny Manifesto. If you're a young parent or if you're a parent of teenagers, you need to read this. You can either get it online or he actually wrote a book. But he explains in the book that parents get frustrated when they see their kids frustrated. So here's what happened. I go out and I could give hitting lessons. I'm really good at giving hitting lessons to kids. I'm really good. When I've coached Little League, my teams are really good because I can teach my kids how to fundamentally hit. And I make it fun for them. But I could not teach Rigney how to hit. We would just get frustrated time after. So I had to pay somebody else to go out there. I didn't have the patience. And finally, when I read the manifesto, I figured it out. It's because I would see him frustrated and I get frustrated. And then he'd see me frustrated and he would get upset because his dad was upset and he'd get more upset. And then I'd see he was upset and I'd get more upset. We just mirrored each other and we just ramped up the frustration on the both of us. Once I figured out he's frustrated, it has nothing to do with me. Just let him be frustrated, take a step back because it's not about me. Like Joe Madden said, completely changed. But as I watch the Little League World Series and I see what's going on in youth sports, it's not about the kids, it's about the parents. So Little League World Series, we're all out there. Let me just ask you this. Why aren't these kids in school right now? Your kids starting school, these kids are in Pennsylvania. That's one question I would ask. Why are they playing into August? Makes no sense. Why will they play almost into September? Makes no sense. Then what happens to these kids once they become big superstars and they're well known and they've been on TV and people are asking for their autographs? What happens when you plop them back into the sixth grade after all this is over? How do they get from being viral stars, internet sensations, on television, everybody knows their names, and then you ask them to take out the garbage on Tuesday? It's too much. It's way too much to put on these kids because some parent wanted to see their kids out there. I see it all the time. I see all these kids come in in local restaurants and such, and they're walking around and the parents are preening more than the kids are. And by the way, all this travel ball started because some kid whose father in upstate New York didn't make the all-star team. So he goes, I'm going to start my own all-star team. I'm going to start my own all-star team outside of Little League, and that's where all this travel league baseball started, and it's spread everywhere else. I'm going to point out a number to you. You tell me if this makes any sense to you. Youth sports is a $40 billion industry. $40 billion is spent on travel ball, hotels, flights. You got kids that are flying every weekend to play in tournaments because they need the better competition, because they need to be discovered. Here's what I'm going to tell you, someone who's worked in both college and professional sports. If your kid's good enough, we'll find you. We spent a lot of money at the pro level to find really good players. If your kid's good enough, we'll find them. I don't care how much money you spend on your kid. If he doesn't have the talent, if he doesn't have the twitch muscles, if he doesn't have that competitive edge, if he doesn't have the mind to do it, if he doesn't have the drive to do it, I don't care how much money you spend, he's not going to get to the big leagues. And by the way, if you want to talk about how many kids actually make it, to get from high school football to any NCAA roster of all the kids that are going to play high school football, 8% will make it. To get to a Division I school, and we're not talking about Power 4, we're talking about just Division I, 3.4% will make it. Now, let's take it up one step. Let's say your kid makes it in to play college football. How likely are they to make it to the NFL? The players that play college football, 1.4% will make it and be selected in the NFL draft. 1 in 900 high school football players will be selected into the NFL draft. That's a lot of money that we spend on youth sports. So why are we spending all this money, $40 billion? You spend more on youth sports than the NFL makes. Simple. Because a lot of people are living their lives vicariously through their kids, or a lot of people are afraid their kids aren't going to have a great future, so they think they can buy their way into professional sports. And all you're doing is putting more pressure on your kids, and you're doing it for you, not them. So I want you to think about this. At some point, we have to ask ourselves this uncomfortable question. Is this still about the kid, or has it become all about us when it comes to youth sports? when you're out there at the high school football game and you're yelling and screaming like a maniac and you're cursing at the officials, do you think your kid's looking over the shoulder telling the rest of his buddy, yeah, you see that mom up there screaming and she's red-faced and she's throwing things and she's fighting with the other parents? Yeah, that's my mom. Mom, I love you. I'm so proud of you. You think the dad who's standing there after the game screaming at the coach because Johnny didn't get into the game, do you think as the kids are standing there walking off the field, he's looking at his buddies, yeah, hey, that's my dad over there chewing out the coach because I didn't play. Although I didn't show up for practice for 3 days and I was late and I've got a bad attitude. My dad's over there airing out the coach. Yeah, that's right. That's my dad. That's my pop talking about me. You think your kids actually say that, or do they look like, oh, hey, whose mom is that? I don't know. Whose dad is that? Dad, stop it. You're embarrassing me. I just wanted to put that out there. That if you have the means, you're out there, are you doing it for the kid or are you doing it for you? Something to think about with all the high school sports that are about to start right now. If you're out there traveling, are you doing it for them? Or are you doing it so you can walk around with that cup that says baseball mom, softball mom, football dad? Or are you doing it because they're getting something out of it? They're learning something. They'll become better people. They'll become better fathers, better parents, better moms in meaningful parts of our society. Are you doing it because you like getting all the custom gear with your kid's name on it? 833-804-1140, 833-804-1140. And I am ready for everybody to yell and scream at me. They've got to go out and play. Here's what I'll tell you. I've been in the room when the draft's being held. Nobody ever said, wow, we got to draft this guy right now in the third round. He played 12-year-old travel baseball. We need to draft him right away. And you're not going to find anybody else on the radio who will ever be able to tell you that, because very few people have ever been able to be into a draft room while it's actually going on. I have. I'll flex on you right there. 833-804-1140. Give me your thoughts. Coming up on the program, Tom Garrett's going to join us. And then I want to talk about data centers as well. 833-804-1140. I know I just kicked this hornet's nest and people are going to be mad at me, but it's something that somebody needs to tell you. It's an uncomfortable conversation, but we'll have it here on Richmond's Morning News. 833-804-1140. Let's see. Today's program brought to you in part by my friend Michael Greer, GreerFinancialGroup.com. Now, this is important. We talk about who handles your money, who looks after your money, who's the steward of your money. Right now is the Treasury Department